Play ball. Hot off the press, handicappers from WagerTalk, Sports Memo, and the Gold Sheet have collaborated on the 2023 WagerTalk Media MLB Betting Guide. From World Series odds to regular season win totals and everything in between, this year's betting guide features previews on all 30 teams, all 6 divisions, and season-long awards like the Cy Young, MVP, and Rookie of the Year. Each preview contains key roster acquisitions and departures to help you get up to speed before opening day. Visit wt.buzz/MLB23 to download your free guide, and we'll see you in the batter's box.
Talk TV. I'm Megan Payton. Joined with me today, I've got a cast full of characters, the best panel in the business. J Money, Skee Profit, Teddy Covers to break down our NBA slate today. 10 games on the slate for the action in the association. Before we get into our contrarian play of the day, we got to go around the horn and hear what our handicappers have up at WagerTalk. Teddy Covers, how are you? What do you have going on?
I'm doing just fine, and we're running pretty good in the NBA right now. What do we got? 10-2 the last 12, 16-4 the last 20, and 61% in the NBA, counting every play, every day, sides and totals only, no props, dating back to last February. So the association's been treating us very well of late. I got 3 plays up and available at my page over at WagerTalk.com or SportsMemo.com right now. 1 in the NIT for tonight, and 2 in the 1 in the NIT and 2 in the NBA ranks for tonight. You'll get one of those 2 plays from me for free before the show is through.
Skee Profit, how's the week been for you?
What's an early start? The week hasn't been so kind to me, but I'm looking to turn it around here today. I do have my top play one yesterday. That's what's going good for me. And I do have another top play again today. And a lot of other things that I like. A few that we'll talk about here on the show. And yeah, just hopeful to provide some more winners today with the rest of these gentlemen. And you, Megan.
Absolutely. And J Money, you've got great show over at YouTube, NBA Talk with J Money. Explain to the audience a little bit about what that is.
Yeah, things have been going fantastic for us. Really seeing the NBA well here lately. I do 3 shows a day on my channel, NBA Talk with Jay, over at YouTube. We have our guy Skee on the channel. We have Teddy coming on Friday as well. So can't wait to talk out more NBA with you guys and gals here today, just trying to get some cash.
Well, it's time to talk some cash, and the contrarian gods got one up in store for us. The contrarian play of the day, Bulls plus 3.5. Philadelphia heads to Chicago, tip off at 8:10 p.m. Eastern. Sixers lay 3.5, total at 221.5. Philly and Chicago played on Monday. Bulls with the double overtime win. The Bulls have won 5 of their last 6. I think the Chicago hate needs to stop. I'm rolling with the gods here. The Bulls are just 3 games below 500. I like them to get it done against the Sixers tonight. J Money, what is your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I can only look at Embiid points. I mean, I feel like last time I was on this show as well, I took Embiid points for his best bet. He's really pushing for the MVP. Usually, what I like to do when teams play back to back, I like to take the loser of the last game in the first half. It's something that I won't fade. But full game, I must say the Bulls do need this game more. This game went to double overtime in the last game, and it was still a 109-105 in that one, man. So I'm sure our guy Skee liking the under here, but I couldn't talk. My leans in this game would be under Sixers in the first half, and Embiid over his points, assists, rebounds as well.
My one concern with the Bulls is the Sixer team knows how to bounce back. Their last 4 losses, they've bounced back 3-1 and 4-0 against the spread. They're going to have to do so without James Harden, who's doubtful. I don't expect him to play, dealing with an Achilles injury. He leads the team in assists, over 10 assists per game. Can their offense handle it against a Bulls team that's been hot as of late? Teddy, your thoughts?
Well, I'm not going to go against the contrarian gods here. I'm not, especially in a game I don't have a particularly strong opinion about side-wise in this contest. Certainly we've seen Chicago play some of their best basketball of the season right here over the last couple of weeks. And I have the utmost respect for Philadelphia. I would not be shocked at all to see the Sixers come out of the East as opposed to the more highly touted Bucks or Celtics. But you're not getting a whole lot of point spread bargains here with Philadelphia at this stage of the equation. I'd be more inclined to look at the total in this contest. Both teams unhappy with their offensive showing last time. You can't blame them. It was a pretty ugly offensive ballgame. Doc Rivers, I'll take our defense the way we played all night. I just can't live with the way we played offense. So we have to fix that. And that's every night. You just have to be good on both ends. Sixers couldn't hit a three-pointer in that game. They had turnovers galore. I would not be surprised after the defensive struggle we just saw. Tonight's game's a little bit more free-flowing. Lean over in this one as opposed to one of the two sides.
The Bulls like to keep things close. They lead the series against the Sixers 2-1. The one game they did lose to the Sixers, it was just by 5 points. If the Bulls are going to win, it's going to be by slowing things down. Defense is key. The Bulls have been great on defense at home. Skee, are you eyeing a total or side in this one?
Well, I'll talk about the game in totality. First, just from the contrarian aspect, I can understand, some reasons to like the Bulls. They were looking like dead man walking going into the All-Star break. And then Patrick Beverley comes over there. He's in everybody's ear and everybody's listening. Everybody's playing better. So I just like the effect he's had on that team. And they've been a bet on really ever since. But in this matchup, the reason why I like the Sixers is just because Chicago was already beaten on this team twice. Once without Embiid, and in that last game 2 days ago with Embiid. And road favorites in revenge situations or double revenge situations win about 68.3% of the time. So I think that's a good bet as far as that's concerned. If you just look at how both of these teams have been playing lately, even with the Bulls, 5-1, I think straight up their last 6. My last 5 game stats say Philly's been the better team. They're top 5 offensive rated, defensive rated, and rebounding team. So I still have to side with Philadelphia here. And as far as the total is concerned, I disagree with Teddy. Jay knows it's if you know, you know, under these teams just played. Y'all saw it. It was a struggle for a reason. Both of these top 5 defensive rated teams the last 5 games, and like Megan mentioned, they're not playing with pace. Both second slowest and third slowest playing teams in that 5-game span. So I don't think that's going to change tonight, especially it's a game that's important for both squads. Philly still fighting to pass Boston and fighting for seeding, and so is Chicago. So I'm betting the under here. I'm betting Philadelphia. You guys can do what you like.
The God said Bulls plus 3.5. I've learned my lesson to not go against the contrarian. I'm taking Chicago plus the points. Let's switch over to our featured matchup of the night. Golden State on the road again, taking on the Dallas Mavericks. Tip off at 6 p.m. Eastern. Warriors -1 short line here, total at 236.5. This is an important game for two teams out in the West looking for that playoff push. Neither team would like to play in the play-in. Warriors 6th seed, 2 games above 500. Mavs right at 500, 8th seed. Can the Mavericks get it done, Skee, against a Warriors team that's second in points?
I would say no. I mean, for one, I get it. Golden State is on the road, but this Mavericks team hasn't been playing good basketball either. Luka has missed the last 5 or 6 games. I would expect him to be rusty. I think to fade teams when a superstar is coming back into the lineup because he could throw off whatever they had going. You have Kyrie, who got a little bit banged up. We're not sure if he's going to be out there tonight. I think Tim Hardaway Jr. got ruled out. So it's just not a whole lot to like from this Dallas side. At least on the flip side, we have a Golden State team who did get a win on the road. Got the snot, or my bad. They lost the first 3 games. They won that one versus the Rockets. It wasn't too impressive, but they got the W. And now it's a chance for them to finish the road trip strong. I think I even heard Draymond say on this podcast, or somebody mentioned about Draymond saying that they're going to win majority, if not all of these road games to end the season. So I think they'll be focused. They've been the better offensive team the last 5 games. They've been a better rebounding team. They got to try to play some defense. But going up against a Dallas team who is probably not going to play any defense either, I think it's a situation for them to get it done. So I like the Warriors side. And if I'm playing the total, only way I could look is over.
The big news for the Mavericks tonight, Luka Doncic returns after missing 2 weeks with a left thigh strain. Luka provides an electrifying aspect to this game. He was averaging 33 points before leaving with injury. He's able to do great in isolation, make the difficult shots. Is this the time to back Dallas? Teddy, what's your thoughts?
No, it's not the time to back Dallas. I basically agree with everything that Skee just said, if not more. Golden State's 11-game road losing streak and their season of failure on the highway, that all ended on, what was it, Monday night or whatever night they beat Houston. And you read the post-game comments from the Warriors after that. It wasn't just Draymond, Draymond, we have a chance to do it again when? No, this is, Klay Thompson. We have a chance to do it again Wednesday and really right the ship from this trip. It's nice to snap an ugly streak like that. There's urgency for Golden State right now, legitimate urgency. And for all this, the Warriors are sitting in the 6th seed right now. The Warriors are a game and a half from being out of the playoffs entirely. There's urgency for Golden State. Absolutely. And Dallas, a team they can beat. Say what you want about the talent and the trade that Dallas made. There is zero on-court chemistry right now for the Mavericks. All right. Doesn't matter if Luka plays. Doesn't matter if Kyrie plays. Doesn't matter if they both play. This team needs like a month of playing time to get to learn each other with two dominant guards, ball dominant guards on the floor. It's going to be a growing process with Dallas, and the Hardaway absence, or not rated out, just one more factor pointing me towards Golden State. Clear choice for me, Warriors, not Mavericks.
The Mavericks don't have a month. The Mavericks don't have a month, Teddy, to get things going. So that's bad news for Dallas. The Warriors break an 11-game road losing streak. They win and cover a double-digit spread against who? The Houston Rockets. Let's not get too excited. They are still the worst road cover team in the NBA. Jay, any leans in this matchup out in Dallas?
Yeah, no. Well, I'll say one thing. This isn't the Houston Rockets here, and they struggled in that game as well. If you watch that one, I know the Rockets aren't playing as bad as they used to, but they struggled in the first half of that game, and they struggled to pull away in the fourth quarter as well. The Rockets were on a back-to-back, so I think that's more the reason why the Warriors were able to pull away in the fourth quarter here. I could only look towards the Mavs here. I do think this is a spot where they'll come out here with something in the first half. Now, obviously, you're not in a hurry to take teams when they're getting their star player back in the lineup, but let's face it, they need Luka here. They're coming off a loss. This is a big game for both teams, the Mavs as well. The home team is 7-1 straight up on the last 8 meetings versus these two. So if I'm betting this game, I'm betting the Mavs in the first half, but I still lean their way in the full game plus the 1.5.
A huge game out west in Dallas, Golden State versus the Mavericks looking to make the playoffs. It's time to talk overtime, though. Switching to totals, our overtime game of the night. Atlanta Hawks at Minnesota Timberwolves. Tip-off at 8:10 p.m. Eastern. Wolves -5. Total opened at 240.5. It's now at 241.5. Big news from Minnesota. Karl Anthony Towns returns after missing 51 games with a calf injury. We have not seen Towns since November 28th. He's the best shooting center in the NBA. Last year, he was averaging nearly 25 points per game. Teddy, I can't see a way to take the under here. Maybe it's avoid it. If I'm right in any way, it's over. What about you?
Yeah, you look at the only previous meeting between the two teams this season, 136-115. The last meeting last year, 134-122. They're getting well into the 250s when these two teams have faced up against each other. And it's not like we've seen Atlanta turn the defense on a consistent basis, even after the coaching change. That being said, we saw a little bit of defense from them last time out against Detroit. I'm a little bit reluctant to play overs when you have a team like Minnesota that could be getting everybody back tonight. I mean, what's the latest word on Ant? Is Edwards in? Let me just check the latest that I saw. But I thought there was a decent chance he was going to play, and he's still listed as questionable. But if you're getting your point guard back, you're getting Towns back in the lineup who hasn't played in months, I would expect some growing pains, even after just missing a couple of games, which makes me very reluctant to get up and over this one at 241.5. So I can't play the under. I have enough reasons not to play the over. Sorry, guys. Wave the white flag. El Paso on this one.
I'd be be surprised to see Edwards out there. We keep seeing him in this walking booth.
Mhm.
Maybe he is probable. Looking for it as of now. What is this that we've got on the screen?
Switzerland.
We've got Switzerland. Oh, we're doing a Switzerland flag. I'm like, it looked like an emergency. I'm thinking ambulance here. Like, are we pause the NBA tip-off show? Jay Money, this is enough of me talking. I'm letting you go. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I would actually look towards the under here. You look at the Hawks. Lately, they have somewhat, at least a little bit, picked up the defense. They have 3 straight unders they are on as well. I don't like the spot for the Timberwolves. Karl Anthony Towns likely coming back in there. I think he's going to mess up the flow of the team. The Timberwolves also have been playing a little bit of defense as well. I think they played a really good defensive. I mean, obviously, Julius Randle went bonkers in that game, but that game also went to overtime. I know the Timberwolves 3 straight overs, but 3 straight road games. You come home for 1 home game, and then you head back out on the road for 3 straight road games. So I think this is somewhat of a sleepy spot for the Timberwolves. I'd lean towards the Hawks and the under in this game. I do think there will be defense played in this game from the Hawks side for the simple fact that they just came out and got smacked by the Timberwolves at the house. They never had a lead in that game. Down 11 in the first quarter, down 24 at the first half. I expect the best effort, even defensively, from the Hawks tonight. So this is one I'd actually go with the under with.
Atlanta, Minnesota just played last week. 136-115. Minnesota crushed the Hawks. Can they do it again? That was a high-scoring game. Skee, any leans on total for this one?
All right, well, first of all, I'm going to say I apologize if I repeat anything Jay Money said because I didn't hear the first 20 seconds. I was too busy laughing at Megan. But I did hear Teddy. And I think I'm torn on the total. Just because if I think the Hawks are going to win, the Hawks don't play a whole lot of defense. They're going to win the game by outscoring their opponents. And, that leads me towards thinking it's an over. But when I think about the Minnesota side, I agree with what he's saying there. Like, you're getting everybody back. Anthony Edwards, if he does play, I don't think he's going to be anywhere near healthy enough to really make an impact. Karl Anthony Towns and Gobert, they weren't really a good combination down there. I feel like they were playing better without them. So and Karl Anthony Towns hasn't played in like 50 games. So he's he will be rusty and likely to have a minutes limit. So Minnesota side, I lean under. Hawks side, I lean over. So I'll leave you with, I think the Hawks are going to win the game or cover the spread at least. I just feel like everything I said about Minnesota, it's still a game that means a hell of a lot to the Hawks, and I feel like they've been playing better. So plus the 4.5, I think is the best side in this game versus the total.
241.5 is the total. Minnesota with just an average defense. The Atlanta Hawks bottom 10 defensive rating in the NBA. That is our overtime game. Now it's time to talk dogs of the day. Where are the dogs barking? Let's see who it is.
That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. And anybody got to say anything, you let me know. That's my dog.
With 10 games on this slate, there is always room for dogs. Washington, Indiana, Dallas, New York, San Antonio, Atlanta, Chicago, Houston, Portland, and the LA Lakers. Those are your 10 dogs of the day. Jay Money, who's barking at you?
Man, all of those are. I'll tell you this right now. Every single one of those dogs are barking, in my opinion, other than the New York Knicks, the Washington Wizards, and the Chicago Bulls there. So every single one of those I'm seeing barking, but I'm sure our guy Robert is going to like this one. Give me the Houston Rockets here, plus the 12.5 here versus the Memphis Grizzlies. I feel like it's way too many points. John Morant's coming back. No Dylan Brooks, so they're without their best perimeter defender. I see this as a pickup type of game. The Rockets have been sneakily playing some really good basketball here lately. I've been watching them very closely. This is a game that they will likely lose, but I do think they can keep it within double digits. So give me the Houston Rockets here, plus the 12.5.
Another game for the Rockets as double-digit underdogs. I like where you're thinking. Ski Profit, any dogs on your mind?
Yeah, I'll go with the little pup, and we're going to go with the +1 on the Lakers. The word that Teddy used, he said urgency. It should be some urgency here for this Lakers team. He talked about how tightly contested the Western Conference is. I think seeds 5 through 12, or it's a difference of like 3.5 games. So Lakers, if they're going to make that push for the playoffs, it has to start today. As far as how they've been playing lately, they're the better offensive rated team, defensive rated team, rebounding team the last 5 games. And it makes sense because the Suns have lost 4 of their last 5. They're going to be without KD, without Ayton. And we got our good old guy in our back pocket tonight. We have Scott Foster. He goes for the home teams, and he hates Chris Paul. So give me the Lakers +1 tonight.
I like how you referred to that as a puppy dog. We've got a couple of puppy dogs on the slate for today's dogs. Teddy, who's your dog of the day?
So I just, for the first time, I was really paying attention to the "That's My Dog" graphic. I saw Big Dog Glenn Robinson with the junkyard dog. Was that Jerome Williams from Toronto? In that graphic, that was awesome.
Right?
I haven't seen him in years. Not to mention the dog, the bounty hunter, and all the other dogs that we got. That being said, my dog today is one that a couple guys have talked about already. And I'm just looking now at the WagerTalk live odds screen and realizing that DeJounte Murray is out for Atlanta tonight. They may not have Bogdanovich, which makes me like the under even less, or the over even less in that ball game. Now I could go under if with the Murray out and Bogdanovich question mark. All that being said, even with the guys for Atlanta that are going to be missing, we're still fading Minnesota tonight. If you watched these two teams play, and I did, and I had a play on Minnesota that game when they went to Atlanta and blew them out. At the end of the game, I like to watch at the very end when everyone's hand slapping and all that. Anthony Edwards, Georgia kid, went to University of Georgia. He put on a little bit of show at the end of that ball game. I am confident that what he was doing on the court at the end of that game is going to rub Atlanta the wrong way. I'm sure they noticed it. I noticed it, and it's one of those deals when you find a hidden motivational factor, like your opponent who just danced on your home floor a week ago. That's a little bit of an edge for Atlanta. Don't like a team when a star is coming back, especially off a long absence. I think the Hawks hang here. Give me Atlanta +5.
Those are the dogs of the day. It's now time to switch gears to our best part of the NBA tip-off show. That's best bet, 60 seconds on the clock. Panel can do whatever they want in that minute, but they got to get out in time, and they must give us a best bet. J Money, start us off. Your 60 seconds starts now.
Man, I didn't even know what I was going to go with the best bet yet, guys. But I'll tell you this right now. If you guys can check me out, man, NBA Talk with Jay. I have a lot of looks today, guys. I'm actually about to do another show, a little NBA Game Time show right after this as well. Did another show with our guy Skee Profit earlier today here. But I'm going to go with a points prop in this one, man. I have a sneaky look on this one. Give me Damian Lillard over 36.5 points. I think he goes for 40 in his sleep tonight. He's coming off his worst game of the season as well. And he's basically the main offensive player for them tonight. No one likes him. No one's looking towards the Blazers. That makes me like him even more in this one. So give me Damian Lillard over 36.5. I think he has a little bit something to prove still to the rest of the league. Show him that he's still a big dog in this one. So give me Lillard over 36.5 points. If you guys like, go check out the NBA, the YouTube show NBA Talk with Jay Money.
With 11 seconds left, Jay, that is exactly how it's done. Skee Profit, the bar has been set up high. You have 60 seconds, and your time starts now.
Yeah, a lot to like on this card for me today. For my best bet, I will go with New York and Miami, and I'll take a look at the total. It's been bet up all the way from, I think, 220 to 224.5. I got in at 223.5, and I like the under. I disagree with the market. I just think after New York allowed Minnesota to go in there and put up 140 points on them, I mean, Coach Tibbs is a defensive coach. He's not going to be happy with that performance. The Knicks, after their opponent scored 120 plus, as long as their opponent is rested, they went under the last 7 games. Knicks has a road dog on the front end of a back-to-back, 5-1 to the under. They could save some of that energy in the second half too for, if the game is not going their way for the next game. And then the Heat, they had 2 days off before this game. That gives them time to fix up their defense. And they got 2 days off before the next game. That means they can give max effort and energy. All of that means under. Neither team is playing with pace. I think this will be a lower scoring affair.
2 seconds to spare, Skee, right on time. Teddy covers. You're looking at a game that we haven't really discussed this evening. What's your best bet? 60 seconds starts now.
Look, this one's simple. I'm only going to give one side of the equation here. I'm going to give the anti-Portland side because I only have a minute. If you want the full analysis for this game, we're talking, of course, the Jazz and the Blazers on Wednesday night. You want the full analysis for the game? It's real simple. Just visit my page over at WagerTalk or sportsmemo.com. It's a client play, a 3% client play, and I do have full analysis up on the page. But the bottom line is we're fading Portland until proven otherwise. This team's 3-11 straight up, 4-10 ATS since the All-Star break. All right, the last 14 ball games. Their 10 of their last 11 losses when they're losing, they're getting crushed. They're losing by double-digit margins. They're not competitive. They're not going to have Jeremy Grant tonight. Team with Lillard and those
We
two.
lost you.
Those
There
two
we
aren't
go.
going to be there. Yeah, this one's all about the dog, all about the favorite, I should say. Give me Utah minus the points against Portland. I'm not a Blazers believer.
Jazz -5, right out on time, Teddy covers. We appreciate our panel joining us here at the NBA Tip-Off Show, giving out free best bets, dogs of the day. Here's today's picks recapped. Feel free to take a screenshot of this so you can go and place your bets. There is tons of action here at WagerTalk TV. It is not just NBA. March Madness, full mix, upsets galore. Can't wait to see what happens in the Sweet 16. Breaking news in the NFL. We have plenty of shows here. Check us out on Last Call Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. We appreciate you joining us here. See you next time on the NBA Tip-Off Show.
Play ball. Hot off the press, handicappers from WagerTalk, Sports Memo, and the Gold Sheet have collaborated on the 2023 WagerTalk Media MLB Betting Guide. From World Series odds to regular season win totals and everything in between, this year's betting guide features previews on all 30 teams, all 6 divisions, and season-long awards like the Cy Young, MVP, and Rookie of the Year. Each preview contains key roster acquisitions and departures to help you get up to speed before opening day. Visit wt.buzz/MLB23 to download your free guide, and we'll see you in the batter's box.